Howdy. Let's see. How are you today? Today, I am on the roof of the trailer. I'm tree height, as you can see. So, what I did the past couple days is I got this ladder rack on. I recommend 2 people. It's an easy something or other ladder rack. I'll put the description in the thing you do down there if I can figure out how to do that. So that was one day of work. It took about 4 hours to get on, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I had help for part of it. So I would recommend 2 people. The instructions are really good. The video instructions, they walk you through putting it together. The only thing they leave out is that you have to attach this part, this top bracket part, to the part that goes onto the trailer. Let's see. See that T part that goes onto the trailer? You just have to bolt it together here to this part here. And that's, they leave that out in the instructions for some reason in the video. Just FYI, so you know if you use this rack, it's really sturdy. It's aluminum. The holes are pre-drilled except for I have to put these covers on. It's adjustable, so you can use it on all sorts of width trailers. You see how this little skinny part slides into this fatter part, and that gets bolted together somehow. Oh, over here. Sorry about the weird angle. Let's see if I can get that. It's got these 2 little screws there, and the same over there, obviously. And it comes with a cover that you have to cut to match this cover to go on here. So I haven't done that yet, but it doesn't come with screws for that part. So I have to put that cover on and then figure out, just run a couple of screws in there, I guess. Yeah, they have these short metal self-tapping screws for there, so I guess I'll use that too. Then I plopped the solar panels on it. I measured so that the solar panels were 47 inches long, so I measured 47 inches here to the outside, the outside of this one, the back of this one to the front of that one. I made sure it's 47 inches. There's also, you get a little play, because it bends a little, but for the ends, it's got to be pretty close to 47 inches. So, and then I'm putting these on. It was heck to drill holes in the first couple because I was using a cordless drill, and it burns out the battery really fast. And I broke a drill bit too, so I got a new drill bit, one made for metal, and I'm using a wired driver, I guess it is. So that's working well, and it goes pretty fast, especially when you know what you're doing. So I'm using the 5/16, I want to say, and these little plates I got at Home Depot, and then the bolts, washers on each side, and the nut on the other side. So it was a bolt and nut came together in a set. Anyway, I'm sure I'm gonna have to use a locking nut or something to keep them on. I'm sure the shaking will loosen them up, so I'm gonna have to figure that out, or maybe put silicone on them so they stay. I didn't want to use anything too permanent in case I change the setup up here, which I don't think I will do ever, but who knows. So I'll figure out a more permanent thing, but for now there's washers and bolts and nuts, and I haven't wired it yet. I guess there's the wires hanging there. I have an inlet thing that I'm gonna attach to the roof and run the wires down so that it's permanent. It'll be nice to not have to keep putting the solar panels in and out of the trailer every time we stop. That was kind of a hassle. But the good part about that was I could park in the shade and put the panels in the sun. So maybe I'll get an accessory like a 50-watt panel or something. Or maybe a flexible panel to put out in the sun while I'm around. I wouldn't want to leave it out when I'm not there, though. Decisions. Well, it's the future. Anyway, so I have the 200-watt panels up here. I just have to finish bolting on these last 2 little plates to keep it there, and then tighten them up. Think about how to keep them secure and get the wiring done. And then I'll be done with the roof thing. By the way, I don't know who if you've seen any other videos I've done, but I did a I put, what is it called, Flex Seal. I always look at, there I am in the shot, and I should be looking over there, because that's me looking at me, and that's me looking at you, so I should be looking at you when I'm talking. So I use Flex Seal on the roof, and you know, it's a pretty thin coat, and I'll show you what's happening. See, it's starting to flake off, I guess. It doesn't adhere well to the goo that was on the trailer top. That stuff that they, let me get this shot here. The stuff that they put on the seams when they build it. As you can see, it was chipping off there too. So I think what I have to do is scrub this. What comes off, and then do, I don't know, 2 or 3 more coats. One coat was half a gallon. There's a 6x12 V-nose trailer. So 1 coat of Flex Seal was a half gallon. So 1 gallon should theoretically be 2 coats. So I have half a gallon left, which is 1 coat. So I'll have to clean this, scrub it, do 1 coat, and then go out and get another $100 gallon of white Flex Seal, and then do 2 more coats. I think 3 coats will be good. Yeah. And then just do another coat or 2, I guess 2 coats every year, kind of, maybe. You know, buy a gallon, do a couple coats once a year when I have access to a ladder. Which I do now, so that's why I'm trying to get this done, because I usually don't have access to a tall ladder. So, yeah, I suppose I could attach a ladder to the outside of the trailer, or now I have a ladder rack, so I could actually keep a ladder on the ladder rack. That's an idea. Interesting. Pros and cons of this ladder rack: it seems really high. Like, I don't know how high that is. It's probably at least a foot off the trailer, which is good in that if I have to do anything to the roof, you know, I can access it, I guess. But I'm not crazy about it for aerodynamics. And I put the panels really close to the front, so I don't want the wind to try to pick up the trailer. But it is attached to the car, and the rear of the car is pretty heavy. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. So these are all things you should consider when you do your solar setup. And I guess that's all for now. I can't think of anything else. I'm using number 10 screws and a 5/16 drill bit. Or number 10 bolts, sorry. And I need a shave, apparently, and a haircut. Look at that. I'll bet my hats don't fit. Okay, I'm gonna get going because my back's cramping up. This is a very bad position to be in, because I'm on top of the trailer, and this trailer is like one of those no walking on top of trailers. It's got the super thin super thin roof, and so I'm leaning on one of the crossbars and praying that it holds me. So if you're gonna work on the trailer, on your trailer roof for any amount of time, I would recommend putting the 2x4s at each end and a 2x6 across to put your weight on. Anyway, next time. Alright, take care. Bye.